I decided to go back and get my MBA. It was based off of a conversation I had with a CIO. We were discussing careers and futures and life. My undergraduate degree is in computer science, so I had all of the technical knowledge that I needed, the sales experience working for PeopleSoft and Oracle, which is where I am now. And then he said, well, the only piece you're missing is the business side. So why not go back and get yourself an MBA if that's the kind of job you want to pursue? So that's originally why I decided to go back and get a master's degree at my age. The MBA program, specifically at Shenandoah, taught me around leadership, organizational behavior, how to interact with people in ways that I never even thought of before. And so I see people and colleagues and organizations in a much different light. I chose Shenandoah to get my MBA for two reasons. All right. The first one was the flexibility of the schedule. To be brutally honest about it, I looked at a whole number of MBA programs, and a lot of them, especially when you go around the executive route, they look for a commitment every weekend, usually a whole Saturday, or it could be a whole weekend. And Shenandoah was unique in that it allowed me the flexibility to do, if I wanted to do weekends, every other weekend, or if I also wanted to do one class on a weekend and one class during the week, I could do that. So for instance, this semester I'm taking one class every week and then one class every other Friday, which counts as a weekend class. And I had the choice throughout the whole program. It wasn't a forced cohort. I can come in, do my thing with a schedule that meets my needs and my family's needs. The second reason was word of mouth. I'd heard from a couple of folks, not through the MBA program, but about Shenandoah, specifically how nice and flexible and great to work with the professors were, and that sold it. My opinion of the faculty is, first of all, top-notch. I have definitely had a few that have challenged me in ways that I never thought I could be challenged before, so it depends on how you want to look at that, as positive or negative. But they've been fantastic. They respect the working professional. In my schedule, I travel anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week. So unfortunately, that means I miss classes. And every faculty member I've worked with, if they work with my schedule, they allow me to learn or make up work on my own. Not special treatment, but just flexibility so that they can mold it, and I'm still required to do the same deliverables as everybody else. But that right there has been one of the greatest assets of the Shenandoah faculty. Because I didn't really know about the class I was going into it, but getting into the program, sometimes, I can't tell you if I had class more than 20 people, maybe 25, I could be stretching a bit. But it's, a lot of times we can get in a boardroom style class where we all sit around a table rather than sort of a lecture type, and we sit and have a conversation. Sure, we have books and talk, and there's no PowerPoint, and we sit and have business conversation. First of all, it's critical to have actual, real-life business experience, whether you are just a worker bee, if you could use the term loosely, or you could be a VP, or you could be a CEO. You have some of those in your faculty. It's not that there's anything wrong with book knowledge, but book knowledge and street knowledge are two completely different things. So to be able to blend those together, which at Shenandoah, the majority of those professors have that street knowledge. And so that is critical to bring that into the classroom because it creates such a blended conversation that is not just black and white. I've always had easy access to the faculty. I tend to work in an email-driven world or even text. I do prefer a personal face-to-face conversation, but let's be honest, it's very hard to do these days if we're doing a lot of traveling. But every professor's been open to, I send an email, I typically get a response back very quickly, but they've always been willing to talk after hours. They've given me their home numbers to talk in the evening, sometimes on the weekends. Who does that? And so that alone was critical to my success. I would definitely say that it's impacting my job right now because when I first started, it's a couple of these types of courses, but I immediately changed the way that I interact. Well, first of all, how I view people, number one, my colleagues, co-workers, but also how I interact with them. So it was immediately impactful in my day-to-day work